Hey everyone, it is April the 8th. And then there are stories in the Bible about people that you can just so closely identify with. And that your heart is tugged and even perhaps broken because you so closely can identify with the story. And Hannah is one of those that I closely have identified with in a season of my life. She's not the first woman in the scriptures that wanted to have a child that could not, or had trouble, or had to wait, however you want to look at that. So it's not the first time we've encountered this from a woman wanting to have a child. I wanted to have a child and went through several years of infertility and lots of questions, lots of waiting, lots of tests, lots of injections, lots of heartache, lots of disappointment. I know what it's like to lay flat on your back at 5 o'clock in the morning and need to get up and go to use the bathroom, but you need to take your temperature first because you're charting your basal body temperature. This tells you how old I am because I'm sure things have completely changed. But I would lay flat on my back and I would reach over and not move very much and then put the thermometer in and wait for the beep beep. And I would chart it for many years. And so I think I know how those other women felt. They wanted to have a child, but Hannah's different. Hannah's different because Hannah went to God. And it says, I just love her story. Year after year, it was the same. Peninnah had children of her own, and Hannah did not. And she would taunt Hannah as they went to the tabernacle. Each time, Hannah would be reduced to tears and would not even eat. Why are you crying, Hannah? Elkanah would ask, that's her husband. Why aren't you eating? Why be downhearted just because you have no children? You have me. Isn't that better than having 10 sons? Well, no, it's not, Elkie. And then you go on in tomorrow's reading and you'll see her prayer and all of that. But year after year, I felt the very same way. Same thing. Now, my friends didn't taunt and tease me, but the enemy did. And it's hard. It's very hard. So my heart goes out to anyone who is in the Hannah way right now. God did see in his plan to bless Scott and I with a daughter, and then 3.5 years later with a son. And I'm so grateful for that. But I know that there are many of you that read this story and perhaps decided, I'm not even going to read it. And then you find out what the lesson is and you're turning the video off because it's hard, and I get that. But I want us to know that to look at what Hannah did. There might be some of you out there that are listening today that year after year it's the same. Your friends are getting married and you aren't. Year after year it's the same. You can't get ahead financially. Year after year it's the same. You don't have peace with God because you don't have reconciliation with a situation that you've been living in way too long. Year after year it's the same. The marriage does not get any better. So regardless of what your year after year the same is, we can learn from Hannah. Hannah, though things did not change overnight, and we don't know how many years year after year is, but Hannah never stopped praying. She never stopped hoping. She did not take matters into her own hands. And this is the first time that I've read this story and really realized that she's the first woman, I think, that did not take matters into her own hands to have a child, to make her dream come true. She waited and she trusted God. And Hannah kept her thoughts on the right things. And she did have friends who influenced her, or who taunted and teased her. Not friends, people. I wouldn't call Penaniah a friend, because a real friend wouldn't do that. And it was hurtful, and she cried, and it disturbed her appetite. No doubt it disturbed her sleep. But how do we know she kept her mind on the right things? Because year after year, on the way to the temple, year after year, as they went to the temple, she knew exactly where to go. And I venture to say that it wasn't just a yearly prayer she prayed. It wasn't a yearly seeking that she sought God. I don't know this for sure, but my heart identifies with it, so that's where I'm landing. 1 Thessalonians says, pray without ceasing. James 5:16 says, confess your sins to one another and pray for each other so you'll be healed. And the earnest prayer of a righteous person has great power and produces wonderful results. Today, whatever hard place you are in, year after year, keep praying, keep hoping, and keep trusting. Because something beautiful is about to happen. We'll see you tomorrow on Read Through the Word.